There's a couple things that scare me. Swiss people, Jell-O, and German Shepherds.
I don't think you want to say Swiss people. We have a very committed Swiss audience. All right, we're going to have Jordan joining today. And I'm excited. Jordan's might get a little wild. We'll have to get that censorship going hard. Oh, here he is. Joy, I got your theme music for you.
You have my theme song?
Yeah, come listen.
Chill. Oh yeah. Has anybody seen a cat around here? If you guys need me, I'll be in the kitchen. Any Al fans? No? Anybody? Come on, man. Was this before your time, Zach?
I watched Alf after school.
Yeah.
I'd see reruns.
Yeah, he had this obsession with eating cats. That's why I thought maybe you'd like it.
Wait, my cat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it.
Thanks. It was good though. That's a good track.
There we go. That's a little bit better. Jordan.
What's up, buddy?
Welcome to the
tiny baby little podcast.
Hey, chill out, okay? Just chill out.
Tiny baby little podcast.
It's called the Tiny Podium with Pastor Zach.
Okay.
I'm Pastor Zach, and welcome, Pastor Jordan Alejandro.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for, booking you was a nightmare.
Yeah, I got a couple assistants. You got to go through a couple layers.
I went through every single one of your staff members.
Yeah.
And it was just I had to book through your service producer who isn't even hired yet, but somehow I was talking to someone.
Yeah.
And that's a little plug too.
Yeah. Well, we got someone. He's interviewing right now.
Okay.
So part of the interview process, he's got to go through the.
But check.
We actually order our Langley North staff. We've done it much like an Italian mafia. It's very organized.
Right.
But you got to go through the layers. You can't just come in. You got to be a made man to be able to just get an appointment with me. So
you come to me on the day.
Hey.
Of the service.
That's good. That's a great Italian.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Great. Nailed it. Out of the park. How are you doing though, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
It's summertime. I love summer.
Yeah?
Why?
What do you do in the summer that you don't do in the...
No one's ever asked me that before.
Because I think maybe I've seen you in shorts once in my life.
What?
When we were in San Diego.
I don't think that's true.
I've never seen you in shorts. At least that I can remember. I figured that's a pretty memorable event.
I'll probably never wear shorts on this podcast.
Yeah?
And I
probably because of the angle.
Can we just blur this area the whole time?
Yeah.
I usually wear the same thing, actually. I feel like I have to say it because I'm self-conscious, but I usually try to wear the same thing.
Why?
I think it's funny. Every episode I'm wearing
What are you self-conscious of?
That people think I only have one pair of clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Rogers has got all the sweaters hanging up.
Yeah. That would be fun if we did.
They're all the same sweater.
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
Why does he change his shoes? That always bothered me.
Slippers, bro.
But he put on laces.
Oh yeah, he
shoes.
put in on his...
It was he changed from his loafers to his running shoes.
You call them sneakers or runners?
Sneakers.
I go sneakers, man.
Sneakers, runners.
That's probably where you grew up, though.
Sneakers.
Huh?
I think sneakers.
I go sneakers
because of sneakerhead culture. I think they really
Yeah.
They owned it. So if you're into shoes, you gotta say sneakers.
But I never heard of runners until I moved to Canada.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's an American thing. So you're American.
I am.
Where were you born?
Born and raised. So all my family, we're all from Boston area, New England.
Go Patriots.
Go Pats. Go Red Sox. I was never a hockey fan, so I care less about Bruins. I know people were up in arms, bro. When I moved to Canada, it was 2010. That was when the Canucks and the Bruins apparently were in the thing, and
I was
battling for the deal. And
I was downtown Vancouver right before
riding. Were you one of the?
I think we have some. I think we have some photos.
Let's show the footage now.
We have.
The game ended about an hour ago.
So when did you move to? Because you also.
So my dad got a job at Boeing, and we moved to Seattle.
Oh, what age?
But I would call it. So I would at a young age. I don't remember. But so I would still I'd call Seattle home.
Okay.
But we would spend every summer back east, back in Boston with my family, grandparents.
You seem like a Seattle guy. I've always known you as a Seattle guy.
Because I'd call that home. Most of my life was there. Until
we don't have a producer. today. So I'm just
you're a
like,
producer.
I'm just checking the things.
You're like the Jackie Chan of podcasts.
I want to talk about woodworking because that's a big
So
thing.
that was another way I paid my way through college.
You built stuff.
I started woodworking.
You still do that, right?
I do it a bit on the side, and
you got some wood in your garage?
I got lots of wood in my garage, in my shop.
Built some stuff?
Yeah, I did some cabinets and different things for
some pulpits.
Yeah.
Maybe
actually the one that we just used is last Sunday, like one we see probably every Sunday.
You built it.
I built that one.
So every time you
fabricated
see the pulpit,
the metal, from the metal to the wood, the full meal deal.
Wow.
I didn't like harvest the metal or harvest. Actually, that wood I did harvest. I have an Alaska mill, and there was a down tree, and I
from where?
harvested that.
Near your house?
No, it was on somebody's property. It was an English walnut. That's why I went and did it, because
that's why it looks so nice.
It's so expensive.
Maybe we could put up a picture of the pulpit here.
Tiny pulpit.
No, that's the big one. Hey, I want to show you some videos.
Yeah.
I want to talk about these things.
Nice transition, by the way.
I mean, I get bored. It's kind of how it goes around here.
I like how we still have the Alf up there, by the way.
So, okay. So I came across this TikTok.
What's the name of this video?
I'm a fat a-hole.
Okay. I couldn't see it from here.
Also,
I didn't want to say it.
Well,
you cancel
we just cut things out or leave them in. I don't care.
Yeah.
Bored. Okay, so I was coming across this TikTok, and there's these guys called the Cart Narcs.
Okay.
And they go into parking lots, and then if people leave their carts, if you bring your groceries back to your car, and then you're done with the cart, you just like leave it maybe.
Yeah.
And so these guys,
how many followers do these guys have?
They have
on TikTok.
I don't know. They have 369,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Wow. How many views does it say has?
This one has
2.4 million.
4 million. Yeah.
How much do they make on that?
Like $1,000. Well, yeah, on YouTube ad revenue.
Right.
Maybe more. I have no idea. I'm kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to watch this video with you, and then I want to talk about, because I'm like have mixed feelings about this, and I'm like part of me thinks it's funny, part of me thinks it's bad, and then part of me was like, I wonder how I would react and how should you react.
Right.
And so like let's just get into it. It's a little bit longer. We'll cut it out.
All right. Light him up. Go on, good one.
Is that a lightsaber?
It's like he's got one.
Oh,
it's
yeah, like a parking lot.
like a skip, and then he always does
Sir,
a siren.
that's a cart right here. That's not how the cart goes. Pick it back to the cart corral area. Carts don't go right there. They go back where the cart returns are. There's one over there. See where that guy just came from? Or over there where I just came from over there?
Mess with the guy
I just
in the
came from
truck.
one. I'll show you where it
There's
is.
lots of guys in trucks.
You know what I mean?
Narcs.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great too.
And like you're even blocking your own door from opening. You'd think you'd understand how that could block someone else's door from opening, right?
You work for that?
No,
See,
we're a highly
he's
trained.
pretty calm right now.
Our siren, by the way.
Like
it's an
he's
ambulance.
like,
Who's calm? The
We're
guy.
a
The guy in the
highly
car-
trained
in the truck.
organization.
He's kind of got a smirk on.
yeah, he's like, what is
Narcs.
happening right now?
Narcs, narcotics, like drugs.
Hold on, wait for this ambulance to go by 1 moment, if you don't mind.
Okay,
Quality siren.
I'm gonna skip
more
ahead a
in
little
the-
bit because he starts to get
Where he
like
gets fired
he
up,
keeps saying, hey, you need to like. He's like, you need to put the card
Walk
back.
away.
But sir, you
Oh, yeah,
caused
Because you're following me.
He's
no,
fired
you,
up.
Sir,
dude.
you chased me halfway through the parking lot first. Sir, you left your cart out where it's an obstruction to other customers. That's all we're talking about here, sir.
He's like a dog on a bone with that, isn't he?
Throw stuff at me, so clearly.
221.
I don't care. What I care about is you. I have rights. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I know. And what I'm saying,
Leave me alone.
I'm having a small.
Leave me
I'm
alone.
trying to have a polite conversation, sir.
No, I don't want a polite. Leave.
Sir,
I'm calling the cops.
see, she's.
I'm her.
I'm a guy, actually. I'm a man.
Call the
This is
cops
a
on
weird
him.
thing.
Leave
No,
me
I'm
alone.
not.
He's
I'm a
quite
nice guy.
witty, though, the
I'm having
guy.
a polite
Yeah,
conversation
like he's
about how to
like
be
he's
civil to your
pushing
fellow
his buttons on
customers.
purpose.
Yeah.
Go yourself.
The reason they had the
There we
cart
go.
corral, which we were at, by the way, we were right here at the cart corral. You could have brought it back by now.
I didn't know that was called the card.
Is because
You
carts.
walked over there. You could have put it there.
Well, sir, then you would have allowed.
Well, there's
You
no
were
name
this
tag.
close to being on the ground.
Why? I'm not on the ground at all, sir.
Leave me alone.
So I don't think you can catch me. Number one. Number two.
You know what? What? Because
Oh, sir, because
is that
I'm
what it is?
because I'm highly trained in running. We train for this because we sometimes people get
You know
angry.
what? Go get the manager to
Why?
right now. Go get him.
What for?
Because
Okay, how do you think you'd react if someone?
How would you react?
Well, I'm torn because like, one, it's funny, and it's like a right thing. Like
Right.
it's like you should put it back.
Sure.
And he's like, hey, you should put it back. But then like how far is too far to like just push someone? It seems like everyone he talks to is just having the worst day and
Sure.
just snaps. Like, and they just come after it. But I think about like how would I react if someone's like, hey, you need to put your cart away. And then like it'd be easy to just go do it.
Right.
And like then it's over. But then it's like this sense of like,
You think it's pride?
yeah, it's pride. It's
You don't
like,
want to be told what to do.
yeah, it's like,
Nobody wants to be told what to do.
and it seems like everyone is having a bad day too, because they say like they always use excuses about what things they're going on in their
Right.
life. Like I just this thing, and my kid is this, and I'm
Right.
single, and I'm had this type
Right.
of
My
day.
kid's got one leg, so I can't.
Yeah, it's like they honestly say stuff like that. But it's like you should put the cart away.
Would you put it away?
Well, I think I've after I've seen these videos, I'm a lot more conscientious.
Yeah.
I don't usually use a cart, but yeah, I always put it away
Yeah.
now.
If I saw this guy, like, would you maybe like go pull a couple more carts out and put them away?
Oh well, I
Like-
mean, to see this guy would be so fun
Yeah, it
to
would be
like
fun.
chat with him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm torn too because this guy, like, okay, yes, he's got a point. You should probably put your cart away. You probably shouldn't fart in public. You probably shouldn't do a snot rocket like in an elevator.
Right.
Right? But,
those
like-
are the big three, I think.
They
Carts,
are.
snots, farts.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, like, he's obviously doing this to get a rise out of people.
I think it's a good thing to like how quickly sometimes people lose their temper.
Yeah.
And like people like traffic is the biggest one. Just ruin people's days.
Why is that?
But I have to admit, one time I was driving in a park zone. It's right by my house, and it's like 30 by the park zone. And I was driving down, and somebody passed me, sped up, and went around. And like
Was he driving a Ridgeline?
it was a truck. It was a big white truck.
Okay, good.
And I'm like, dude, I'm going 30 and you sped around me. And sometimes that makes me snap a little bit.
Right.
And I was driving with Lauren. I was like, I gotta go talk to this guy.
And
like,
then you went speeding.
no,
to
I
catch up with him.
didn't. And Lauren's like, no, like don't. And I was like, I just want to like be like, hey, dude, that's a park zone. Like how like even now I'm like,
Right.
how dumb are you? Like, well, you're in a rush. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
But then I get it. It's like,
I didn't have park zones where I grew up in Seattle. There was no such thing. There were school zones. That was it.
what does that have to do with what
I don't know.
I'm
Maybe
saying?
he didn't know. Maybe he didn't know it was a park zone.
But you,
Maybe he just thought like, hey, some idiot doesn't know how to drive.
it's still against the law. Doesn't change the fact.
Have you ever sped through a school zone?
Probably.
You ever got a ticket?
I have actually one time when I was just got my light. I was like 19 years old, 18 or 19, driving through a school zone, driving to work. Got pulled over. There's a stop, and then I got pulled into the parking lot. The officer comes over. He's like, "Do you know this is a school zone?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." He's like, "Do you have any prior tickets?" I was like, "Yeah, I got something. I think I had a prior ticket." And then he's like, "Okay, hold here." He's like, "You know what? You were honest with me." He's like, "Do you have money for a ticket?" And I was like, "It's $120 or whatever it was." I was like, "No." He's like, "But I bet you have money for the food bank. Here's a warning. Go donate to the food bank."
Did you?
I did.
How much did you donate?
A couple cans. But how much is like a prank? When does it go too far? Because you're a guy, you appreciate a good prank, right?
100%.
You appreciate a good razz.
100%.
You know, so how do you measure like when a prank goes too far?
It depends on the person, but I feel like maybe once you get to the level of like, because you could scare somebody and maybe they yell or they scream or maybe they
Right.
accidentally say a swear word or something like that. Oh, you know what I mean? Like that's funny. But I feel like if you go like there's a fine line between like getting somebody riled up and then almost like a fine line of torture. Like I feel like that guy was like trying to mess with that guy to like
Right.
like that was almost like a cruel form of torture. Like he's really trying to push the guy's
Yeah,
buttons.
there's totally a way to have that conversation and be like, dude, I know, like, I'm so sorry you're upset. Like, but he's like,
But you think hey, you probably have 2 followers on
yeah, right.
Insta Twitter.
So are we saying we don't like the Cart Narc?
I think it's part of it's funny. I feel like the first couple minutes of it are funny.
But then it's torturous.
But
you
then
think?
it goes like then I feel like that's where it crosses the line.
Pranks do upset me a little bit. There's a lot of pranks like in stores and
Right.
like there's lots of like YouTubers who like go into and
Like
like
put a bucket over somebody's head.
and then put
or-
a bucket over their old head
Yeah.
or like just like whisper in people's ears
Right.
and like throw stuff at them. It's like
It's dangerous though, man. Like
sometimes I wish like I see they do it to a big guy and
they
it's
just-
like, man, you deserve to get beaten up.
yes,
Like sometimes I'm
they
like,
just smash them in the brain and brain their damage.
so
That's
where
what you wish for?
a little bit. Where's the line for like a funny prank? Like relationship? Do you think that's important?
Well, okay, but how about this? Like let's change the script a little bit. What if it's like you're playing a prank on your wife?
Yeah.
Are those funny? Like where does the line draw there?
I think the other person has to find it funny eventually. Like
Right.
not like years from now, but like
Well, those people on those videos, like I grew up in a different era. Like there wasn't this
YouTube.
sort of social media like this. It was kind of more of like the the guys on the show Jackass, and they would do things like that, but they would all have to sign to non-disclosure like afterwards. So they gave permission for them to use
Right.
it. I don't know what that's like on social media these days. Do they still have to get? So maybe they do see it funny later,
right.
but I don't
Or
know.
they pay them.
Or they pay them to sign that.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are.
I'm okay with that. Like, play a prank on me, pay me enough, and whether it's funny or not, I get paid.
Well, it's tough though too, because in the middle of it, emotion just drives so high.
100%.
So that's why it's really important. I think emotional maturity and
100%.
emotional, like understanding, being able to even in high tense situations say, "I'm angry right now," and I'm understanding that like all my thoughts are being filtered through this like red hot anger situation or
Right.
upset situation,
Right,
and then just being able to say, "You know what? I'm upset right now."
right.
And I'm going to walk away.
We actually teach this to my oldest son.
Yeah.
He has autism, and he has a hard time controlling emotions. That's
Hmm.
kind of his thing. He's really outgoing. He's a really smart kid, but oftentimes like we have to teach him that. And I've actually learned probably like so much from teaching him how to
Right.
do this. I'm like, oh man, like I wish I would have known these things. But a lot of it's like, hey, tell us how you're feeling, and then count to 3, calm down. And then half the time you look at the situation, you're like, what am I so fired up about?
Right.
Like, this is stupid. Like, someone sped through a school zone. Like, yes, they shouldn't have done
Yeah.
that. Like, no one, like, what am I, like, why am I freaking out about this? And
And that's been really good for me to actually ask those questions, be like, there's an injustice here.
right,
And I always feel like the things that trigger me are when there's an injustice happening to someone else.
100%.
And I always just want to defend that person.
100%.
And, okay, why does that trigger me so much? And what is actually the best way to like,
Right.
even helping understand right now, oh, that's why I'm so upset,
Right.
is helps deal with it.
Right.
But it's difficult.
That's a hard one, though. Because is there lines with that, too, on how you defend somebody or how much you defend somebody? Like to what extent? Like, you also have to realize, like, there should be a line at some point where
Yeah.
you're probably going to cross that. You're probably going to do more damage to somebody else than they did to that person. And you're like,
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it logically, you don't always have that time to suss it out and say what
Right.
would be the best course of action here. But yeah, sometimes you gotta make a move.
how do you do that in your marriage? Like, what's your go-to? Like,
If,
I feel
if
like
Lauren
like,
does injustice to
like,
me,
well, no, I'm like
I rub my elbows.
the people's elbow.
I rub my elbows. That's
Yeah.
what that meant.
Well, I'm talking about conflict.
Yeah.
So when it comes to conflict, what's your response? Because I feel like everybody has different responses
Yeah.
to conflict. Some people, it's like the fight or flight, right?
I'm like a fight, but I do retreat too, where I'm just like almost sometimes it gets hard when I know I'm like, oh, I'm in an emotional zone. I don't know how to navigate through it,
Right.
but sometimes I'm able to just be aware of myself to be like, I'm in uncharted waters right now. I know there's huge waves of emotion. I don't know how to swim with them, so I just leave.
Right.
I'm just like, and I don't think that's always the best.
Right.
But
Like-
I'm definitely like check out.
Right. Yeah, I
But-
think for me, like, I can get really angry
Mm.
real quick. And so, like, but I've learned over the years that I need to actually walk away from the situation, which is really weird. Like, interesting enough, in my marriage, Christina is very much like the stay and fight, like, and keeps fighting. And so really, like, I found in my marriage, in my early days, like, I was like, if I fight, like, it's not going to be good. Like, we're probably going to end up separated or something like that by the police. But I found like I walked away, and for her, like every man that she'd ever known in her life had walked away. And so she was like, oh man, he's gone. Like, and I literally like just walked, like, I need to go for a walk. I need to cool down. I'll come back. I need to think about it. So we've had to adjust. And that's why I asked like what your style of conflict is. Cause I feel like in marriages, it's really important to know each other's.
Yeah.
Like, and how you guys resolve conflict, how to do that. Because man, imagine that, like, you know, when you're coming at it that way, you don't know always the past and what's happened there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely key. I remember early on in Lauren's and I's relationship, she would like bundle things up, and I just like, hey, what's going on? Like, and I would like, you need to tell me, like, we have to talk about this. And it was almost like,
would it snowball, like, and just become? Would you bundle it all up, and then all of a sudden it'd be an explosion?
Yeah, exactly. And so, and even like sometimes she wouldn't know how to express herself. So we just spent like, this was really early on in our dating life, and we're probably both immature and still developing, but you know, that really helped us be like, hey, we have to talk about things. And I know for me, sometimes I need to talk about things, so even they'll become bigger if I don't say it, but I don't like talking about it.
Sure.
So even like
I feel like it's a pretty twisted person who likes conflict. I feel like most people like don't like conflict.
Well, I like conflict if I'm not involved in it. Like if it's like we need to solve something.
Sure.
So conflict built on trust and accountability and commitment, you know, conflict is good. But when you're involved and you're like, I have a conflict and I have like, it's about me, you know, then it's hard. If you're able to put the conflict on the table. Beef. Yeah. Like if we're able to put the conflict on the table and say, let's sort through it. But when it feels like me versus you, that's a really tough part to be on. Yeah,
I feel like not many people like that.
Yeah, I guess not.
You have to be a sick person.
If you like it,
what's the most annoying thing about your wife that she does?
If you like conflict, put it down in the comments. Say, I love that conflict.
I love me them conflicts.
What was the question?
What was the most annoying thing that your wife does? They just like a dumb petty thing, like not put away her socks or, you know, something like that.
Oh,
hair in the bathroom,
dude. She first degree murders the toothpaste tube.
Oh, does she middle squeeze?
It looks like she's like put it in a ring. She WWE'd it. She's like suplexed it from the top and like sprayed it out and then like
this.
Yeah, it's like, you know, what's the toothpaste been cooking? And then like, and it's like there's no lid. It's like, what did you do here? Yeah. It's like you just put a little bit on the top and then close the lid and it's clean. Yeah. It's dirty.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah. I think we've worked through that a little bit, but what's the thing about my wife that most annoys
I was going
you?
to say that. The thing that bugs me the most is her glasses.
Right.
Yeah, they don't fit her face.
Sometimes she doesn't wear them. She wears contacts a lot too. So she's working on that.
Thanks. I'm glad. Thanks, Lauren.
Dude, how's Langley North?
It's cool.
Anything you want to plug or talk about?
Man, we got some good stuff happen. We just had Freedom Session graduation, which was amazing.
Woo.
Had 35 people receiving freedom in their lives, and
so good.
Just part of their discipleship process, and that's a big focus of ours. I know it sounds weird to say that, like out loud. Actually, it sounds weird to say like, "Hey, discipleship's a big part of our church," but we want to continue to help people find that in their lives, and I feel like more and more as a pastor, like my goal is to help people be discipled and give people opportunities to succeed, to fail, to try things out, to do different things. And I don't know if it's because I became a dad, but like I feel like my ministry has changed over the years. Like the thing I love most is seeing other people succeed and seeing other people do what God's created them to do.
That's cool.
And so that's what Langley North is, man. Where it's like, come find a place, like figure out what you want to do. And I don't care. Like you probably don't need to be a greeter or any of that crap. Like that doesn't matter to me. But what's God calling you to do, and how can I help you accomplish that? And
that's awesome.
Langley North's growing good, man. We got lots of fun summer events happening. Lots of different things, just popping and weaving and bopping, as the kids say.
Yeah, they do say that. That's
Yeah.
cool about Freedom Session. We're actually running. There's a couple things running Freedom Session in September of 22.
Yeah.
So go thisisvillagechurch.com/FS online
Yeah.
for more information. Anything you want to plug? Your socials?
Bro, I kind of gave up on a lot of social media stuff.
This is it's like
you-
I create this amazing platform plug and nobody wants to plug anything.
Then, how about this, Zach?
Give it to me.
Follow Zach. Follow him. He does the things
I don't-
that you want to know. Do you still do TikTok? You were really into
Just
that.
got free loaf of bread. But the real bread, bread of life.
I love
Read your
my
Bible.
Favorite thing though, I don't like cats, but I love cat videos. How about this? Go follow. What's the guy's name who does all the cat things?
I don't know.
He's my favorite follow.
You
though.
sent it to me
Owl Kitty. Go follow Owl Kitty.
on
Guy will
Instagram.
change your life. Like he redoes Jurassic Park with his cat, redoes Titanic with his cat, redid Godzilla with his cat. Like
Those are good.
How about that? Go follow him. Owl Kitty, do your thing, bro.
Cool.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on,
Hey.
Jordan. You want to come back?
Always.
You want?
I really like that convo today. I don't know how we got serious quick. Like quick.
It's
We
a
went
roller
from
coaster. We went down and up,
Yeah.
and then came back down.
it was like,
That's what you get here.
that was like the Swiss Alps.
All right.
You ever been to the Swiss Alps?
No.
Did you ever go?
No.
No, me either.
No.
There's a couple things that scare me. Swiss people, Jello, and German Shepherds.
I don't think you want to say Swiss people. We have a very committed Swiss audience.
Swiss people are like the most non-threatening people in the world. That'd be like saying Canadians.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks.
Okay.
For,
Shout out to Swiss people.